Is Alina coming?
I don't think Alina's coming. No. I had 12 people sign up. Typically about 50% will show up. So I was expecting about 6 from 12. A couple messaged me to say they're not well, but they're still going to be coming, but they'll have their cameras off. They're obviously not here. So, but here's one thing I know. Where we are is where we're supposed to be every time in life. Where you are is where you are meant to be. And so who is here is who is meant to be here. So I think that's the first thing I actually want to start off with, to say, why are we here? Why are we even here? Welcome to 2023. Welcome to this time together. We'll be together for about 75 to 90 minutes, no more than 90 minutes. And I don't think we'll be much less than 75 minutes. I think it's really great to start off with, why are we even here? Why are we here? So before I'm going to share why I'm here, but I'd love to hear from you as well, why you're here. Why are you here? So I know that Teresa is in traffic. I'll let Teresa go last. Ade, do you want to share why you're here?
I'm here because I want to have clarity of what to do. That's right. I just need to. I'm tired. I'm just tired of being tired of doing what I'm doing. And I really, this year is a new year and I need clarity. I need direction and guidance.
So you have been in, I think you were in most of my programs last year, Ade. Apart from perhaps the retreat, you didn't come for the retreat, but I think you were in all my other programs last year. So I feel I know a little bit, or more than a little bit actually, of why you're here. And I love that you say clarity. And I love that even though we spent so much time last year, you're here today, because clarity, Teresa, it's nice to see your face, because clarity is not something you hit and then it's over. Clarity is ongoing. Clarity is every time you reach another level, you need new clarity, right? Clarity is not something you get to and then you say, well, that's the end of that. So I'm glad that you recognize that. Hello to Funke and hello to Sarifa. Hello, welcome. I know that you're not well, Sarifa. If you are able, please turn your camera on. You're in an absolutely safe space. This is Ziano Mind Spa. You know how we roll here. If you're lying in bed, it's all good. It's all good. Just let's see your beautiful face, because you're seeing ours. And the same also to you, Funke. Please let's see your face. You're in an absolutely safe space. I should actually have started with that. Every time we get together at Ziano Mind Spa, we have three guiding principles. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you. We have three guiding principles. The first is, you are in a safe space. We take safe space very, very seriously. We are grown women. We come together to learn, to share, to grow, all of us jointly. We're all here because we're on a journey of constant and continuous growth and development, because we never get to the only point we get to the end of this journey is when we're literally at the end of the journey, as in when we're being put 6 feet under. All along the journey, we're all learning, we're all growing, we're all developing. What does that mean? That means that we allow ourselves to be vulnerable. We allow ourselves to share. We allow ourselves the space to hold space for each other so we can all share. And psychological safety is absolutely paramount at Ziano Mind Spa. So safe space, no judgment, no criticism, and what happens at the spa stays at the spa. So please I want you to feel safe to share, to be yourself, to unburden, to unpack, and to allow yourself the opportunity to learn. You can only do that if you allow yourself. It doesn't happen automatically. So that's something that's really, really important for me to say right off before we even get too far down the line. Now, we're all here for a reason. Time is not something that I take for granted, especially not in today's world. The fact that you can give up an hour to an hour and a half of your time on the weekday evening is not something I take for granted. And so I also don't want you to take it for granted. I want you to genuinely allow yourself to take in all that you can from this time and space together, so that we can say that the time was well spent and it served us. Sarifa, thank you so much. I see you turned your camera on. Thank you so much. Thank you. So what I'm going to start off doing actually is we're all from, believe it or not, we're the 5 of us on this call, and there are 4 countries represented with just 5 people. So I'm going to ask you to open up your lines and just share literally who you are and where you're joining us from, and actually why you're here. Who you are, where you're joining from, and why are you here. No pressure. Just let's all share. Ade, let's start with you.
Yes, my name's Ade, and I'm in the United Kingdom, and I'm here because I want clarity, as I said earlier on.
Thank you, Ade. Clarity on what? Clarity on
my next chapter, on where I want to move from where I am. I'm doing a job that I'm not really, that's very stressful, and I have a desire to be a coach. And I want to, like, clarity to know what I need to. I know that I've been on all your trainings, but I still need more clarity, and I know that I can never stop learning.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Thank you, Ade. Thank you. Thank you. Teresa, are you able to share? Hello, sis.
Yes. I'm just trying to change. Okay, let me share before I'm trying to change to my iPad from my phone because my battery is about to give up. So wow. My name is Teresa Onwuka. Joining in from Lagos, Nigeria. So why am I here? I'm never just able to join any of your stuff. I've always wanted to, because you seem very genuine. Oh, because there are a lot of people who do the same thing, but I feel are not as, there's always another motive, but I've only known you for ever so long, but I feel you're genuine, and so the space is really, really safe. So why am I here? Clarity. What's next? Every year I set goals, and this year I've decided to be in this type of, with other women, similar. There was a time I did that, and I stopped, and I was just doing my own thing, praying and focusing on all that. Yeah, I'm still doing the praying and all that, but I think in this stage in my life, it will be good for me to actually rub minds with other women who are on the same path to, you can only get better, right? You can only get better. So yeah, so that's why I'm here. Clarity being the watchword.
Yeah. Thank you, Teresa. Can I just come back to a couple of things that you shared? Thank you so much for that. In terms of my being genuine, I love what I do. I genuinely love what I do, and I do this from a place of here's what I say. Everything that I put out, everything I do is with me in mind. Me in mind. I do everything that I need. My entire business model is based on what I need. I need, or what I needed when I was in a state of utter confusion about my future. And I'll share a little bit more about that in a minute. I needed a safe space. You talked about being with other women. I needed a community. I hosted my first retreat in Dubai. When was it? November of last year, November 2022. And I can honestly say the women and the outpouring and the love and the vulnerability was more than I could have ever dreamt of, because we are social creatures. We need each other. And when we're in a small group like this, that's actually also why I love to do small groups, because I feel that we feel safer. I feel safer in a small group. And I do this with me in mind. So I'm just going to put that out there. Clarity, I want to say, is the first key on the journey of stepping into whatever is next for us, because without clarity, we're not going anywhere. It's like getting into a car and starting the engine. Where are you going? I don't know. Where are you going? I don't know. I'm just driving. But where are you going? I don't know. Clarity is the GPS, is the destination. But clarity, as we said about 5 minutes ago, is constantly evolving itself and making itself clearer. Sometimes we don't know the actual thing. We just know that it's not where we are. And sometimes we need to start to take a step. And as we move, we become clearer and more definite, more defined. So sometimes I feel that we can hold ourselves back, waiting for this elusive clarity, but clarity is waiting for us. So I just want to also put that out there. Sometimes clarity, not sometimes, all the time, clarity comes in movement. But thank you so much for sharing, Teresa. Who am I going to next? I'm going to leave Sarifa for last because she's unwell. She'll share with us more. So Funke, you're next. Hello, where are you joining us from and why are you here?
Hi. I'm joining from the UK. I've been following you for a while, and I do like what I see. I've seen your growth, and those are things that I would actually like to do. You understand? So when I see, because I do see, I'm part of Gemstone and all that. I've attended all the Speak for Gold for Fela Durotoye, and so I do follow your growth, and I could see all what you've done. So those are things that actually feel drawn, because I know your story. I know 80% of it. Then even though I've not joined most things that you've done, the times I want to join it, but the times I just can't afford it, because like the Dubai one. I was actually, because I can always be in Dubai, and I knew that I could be in a place not too far from where you are. But most times, no, I don't know. It's just like, okay, I've checked the next one that you're going to do in Corinthian or whatever. But just like when you look at, sometimes, no, there's so many things that you want to do and you just can't.
Yeah.
So, so you can see I do follow everything, because I was so excited about it to buy, but when the price everything came out, I just had to take a back step. So, but there's value in what you do, and even if I can attend all that, whatever you put on the media, you understand, I do key into that, and I do like it, and it does help me, and and when I look, even though I listen to all these big people, but when yours is just like, okay, I've never met you, but I just, the little that I know about that about you, it seems as if I've known you for for many, many years. But that actually inspires me more, you understand? And to see you do it, it tells me more that I can actually do it. You understand? So that's just me. I work with children. I live in the UK. I work with children, but I see myself as I'm a kingdom builder and a channel of hope for women. I'm a cancer survivor, and you see, my book is about to come out soon. So literally, I just take a step by step by step, step by step. You understand? So I'll get there. But with you, I know I can. One, you got to still continue to learn and learn and then explore things. You understand? Learn. I would love to be a life coach. I know you've done your. I'm still thinking about it, but I'll get there. I'll get there. That's just me in a nutshell.
Yeah. Thank you, Funke. Thank you for sharing. So, when you say you'll get there, let me, if I may say that you're already there. You're already there, right? You're already there. You're not going to get there. You are already there. Why do I say that? Because the journey is actually the destination. Funke, there's no destination. The journey is the destination. Getting started is the destination. So you're already there. The only time you'll ever get there is when you're at the end. That's the only time we ever get there. Up until then, we're all on a journey. Life is a continuum, is one long journey. Where you are is where you're supposed to be. You mentioned not being able to come to any of my other events. Where you are is where you're meant to be. When you're meant to be at one of my other events, trust and believe you will be there, right? So that's just life. About your book, congratulations, well done. I can see the cover, and you talk about being a kingdom builder. I'm not sure if that's the exact word you use.
Yeah.
So this is why community is so powerful, because Ade, who is literally just above you on my screen, is also a kingdom builder. So there you go. There you go. So already you have somebody who you can brainstorm with and chat to, and she's also based in the UK. Not that it matters, because the world is a global village these days. But anyway, that's it. So I just wanted to let you know that you have somebody in the room who you already have something in common with. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing. Thank you. Sarifa, how are you feeling? Welcome.
Hello. I'm fine. It's just the common cold that comes around this time of year, and having 2 kids in school.
Oh wow.
Does not help the process. But I'm well, thank you. I'm from South Africa, but I live in Norway. And I'm a fan. That's why I'm here. And I mean, I think all my sisters have, said it already. But I remember connecting with you after one of Lisa Nichols' programs or summits.
Yeah.
And one of the things that resonated is the sense of humility. And for me, it was like, that's a woman I need to connect with, and that's a woman I need to follow. I've started coaching, I speak, and as Lisa says, you need to always have people that are a few steps ahead of you. And you're my person who is, several steps ahead of me, that I know, like, okay, she's going to pull me up. And that's where I'm at. And I absolutely adore your sense of humility, accessibility. I'll send you a message and you answer. The diva syndrome has not hit you, and I hope it never does. But and that's what I respect. I think also for me, we've seen a lot of people come out of the US and other spaces, but seeing a fellow African sister, for me was one of the key points that I need to connect with her. And Marianne Williamson says, when you shine, you give others permission to shine. And that's what I get from you. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. That means a lot to me. That means so much to me. You touched on so many things. You touched on community. You met me in Lisa's community.
Mm-hmm.
You touched on you touched on the diva syndrome. I love that, the diva syndrome. Can I just say, interestingly, I have actually been told off for my non-diva syndrome, whatever that is. I've actually been told off for being too accessible. So it's a case of who do you want to be, I guess. I don't know. But then you touched on something really powerful. A lot of this stuff comes out of the US. I think it's time for us to let the US know that we're also on the map, right?
Yes.
It's time. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We're also on the map. And for good reason, right? For good reason. So that's why we're here. But I want to thank you also for being here, Sarifa, because I know that you're also on your journey, as we all are. Everyone here is on their own journey. I mean, what Teresa didn't share, she was very humble. What Teresa didn't share is that she's actually, she runs one of the major fashion houses in Lagos. She didn't share that. And I was going to pull her up on that. I thought, I'll wait until the end. She didn't share that, right? If you ever heard of Middle Point, if you go on,
Oh my God.
it's true. It's true.
Okay.
So I'm being honest, right? And actually, if you see because Ade mentioned at the start that she saw she said, I saw that you had a good time over Christmas. The jacket I had on Christmas Day was from Teresa, right?
Oh,
yeah. So everyone here, every one of us has greatness in us. But here's the thing. We're all here because we know that there's more. We're all here because we know that no matter what we've done so far, we haven't touched all that there is, right? Sarifa, you are already a speaker and a coach. Ade, you are, my God, you are somebody with so much experience and knowledge and humility and willingness to learn, to grow, to share, to use her experience to help others. The same for you, Funke. I've just touched on who Teresa is, but we're still here. We're all still here because we know that even if we're at step 10, there's step 11, there's step 12. Let me share a little bit about myself, if I may. Hi, Vanessa. Thank you for joining. So I had a 30-year corporate human resources career. I had, honestly, what many people would consider to be dream jobs, a great life on paper. What many people would not have known is that in at least 10 of those 30 years, I felt like I was anything but successful, because to the outside world, my life looked good. Internally, I spent most nights crying, wondering whether there was something wrong with me, because I wanted something more than what I had, but I didn't know what that thing was, because like any decent Nigerian girl, I was raised to believe you go to school, you get a career, life is good. Except life wasn't good. So yes, I had a wonderful husband. Yes, I have a great marriage. Yes, I have a great family. But me personally, me as a person, me, NME, I was so unfulfilled and so frustrated. And I saw people in my life have these wonderful careers, get promotions and strive to become the MD and the VP and the CEO. And every time I heard, oh, so-and-so's been promoted, I was like, wow, is that a good thing? Of course, I couldn't share it out externally. How can you say to somebody, is that a good thing when they've been promoted? But inside of me, I was thinking, the worst thing that can happen to me right now is for me to be promoted. Literally the worst thing that can happen to me. Why? I'd come to the end of that season of my life. I'd come to the end of how I define success, having the dream job, working for these wonderful global corporates. I work for Goldman Sachs, I work for Shell, I work for HSBC, I work for AstraZeneca. Each time I would go to work and I'd be like, I cannot wait to come out of this place, to get out of this place and to find something that fulfills my soul. Until I found this. In 2020, I left that life, completely unrelated to COVID. I literally walked out of my job. And I went in search of me. I went in search of that thing that made me excited every morning. I went in search of that thing that made me stop disqualifying myself. And then I found this. I found that something that had been diminishing for a long time was actually my gift. I found that my mouth was actually my gift. I found that my ability to be with women, to empathize, to share, to laugh was actually my gift. I thought it was just something you did at parties. I didn't know it was something you could do as a career until 2020. And I have to say, the past 2 years have been the best 2 years of my life in terms of my personal fulfillment. The best 2 years of my life, hands down. But then here's the thing. I also know that whilst I'm pretty special, I'm not that special. I'm not the only one. I know that there are other women like me who seemingly they look like they've got things going on. Yeah, you've got it going on. But only they know what's really going on inside of them. Only they know that they know that they haven't tapped into all of who they can be. And here's another thing. I think we often see success as something financial, something material, something worldly, something to do with your success in life, your home, your cars, your holidays, all that good stuff. And that's all important. We need to live a good life, let's be honest, right? But I think you also get to a point where you realize that it's so much more than that. That's all great. And we all want that. We want to wear nice clothes, wear nice shoes. And that should not be knocked. But that doesn't come. We shouldn't sacrifice this thing here. This satisfaction we feel every morning, the fulfillment, the joy, the passion, the purpose, the true happiness we feel in here every morning for who we are in the world, who we were created to be, and how we then be this thing in the world, which we sometimes give up if all we're chasing is the worldly accepted version of success. And so that's my mission. My mission is to tell women like me that, ladies, I found this thing, and if you're looking for it, let's go find it for you. Because honestly, I always say this. Teresa talked about spiritual and God. I often say that if I had died prior to 2020, it would have been a miserable death, because I would have died and I would honestly have not been able to say that I found myself while I was alive. Now I believe I have. And I know that the joy and the satisfaction I feel every morning when I wake up is not one I want to keep to myself. So that's why I'm here. That's why I created this event. Mm. Mm. Would anyone like to say anything? You don't have to, just if you want to.
It's just that I'm missing your Corinthia event by like 10 days, which is just so annoying. That's all. But well, I hope to get a lot from today. Let's see.
Yeah, you're going to get a lot from today. And remember what we said, Teresa, where you are is where you're meant to be. When you're meant to be at one of my events, trust and believe you will be at one of my events. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'd like to share my story.
Sorry,
I'm sorry, my love. Please.
No, I just wanted to add that we're glad that you found yourself, because now you're leaving a legacy. We're going to remember you.
Amen. Yes, indeed. Here's something else I didn't mention though. Thank you, Sarifa. I was genuinely worried about telling my husband that I was going to give up my job, give up that whole life, give up my career, and go in search of myself, because my husband he lives in that world. That's all he knows. That's all he's ever done. And I was so scared for months. I was scared to tell this man. And the day I did, I cried. I cried because I told him, I said, you know, I haven't been happy in a long time. You know, I just haven't felt that I've belonged in what I've been doing. I need to go and find that thing. And he looked at me and he said to me, you need to do what you need to do. And I cried because I thought, and here was I thinking, not only would he not support me, he wouldn't even understand. Not only did he or does he support me, he understands. Why do I share this? To say a lot of the time, and we're going to touch on this really quickly today, a lot of the time we put our own self-imposed beliefs on other people, not just on ourselves, but on other people. And we preempt things and we think, oh, this is going to happen or that's going to happen. It's often because we are disqualifying ourselves. Before we even try, we disqualify ourselves. Why? So we can say, oh, it wouldn't have worked anyway. It wouldn't have worked anyway. Now, the truth is, whether my husband had approved or not is completely irrelevant. I should have had enough faith in myself to say, I'm going to do it anyway. The fact that he supports me should be a bonus. It shouldn't have been my gate point. So even that I'm embarrassed about. And we do this to ourselves a lot, especially, dare I say, as women. We need validation. We look for permission. And when we don't find it, we use that as an excuse. I don't know how many women here are married, but I can't imagine many women. Thank you, Ade. I can't imagine many men requiring their wives' permission or validation or approval. But as women, we do. Sarifa, your hand is up. You have something to say?
Yeah, very quickly. I was laughing just listening to your story because I also quit my job. And I did the same thing, pulled up the courage to speak to my husband. And he looked at me and he said, well, it's about time. And when I told my children, because, you know, in my head, I kept telling myself, I have to stick in this toxic job for them. And when I told my children, and at that point, they were what, 8 and 6, they said, yes, that is the best news ever. So,
that's it.
Again, it's the narrative that we have.
The narrative that we have. Please don't apologize for interrupting and sharing your own experience. That's why we're here. That's why we're here, for everybody. That's why we're here. And I just want to close this out to say now, my husband, in his car, he has no fewer, at any point in time, he has no fewer than 20 of my books in his car at any point in time. And when he goes to any function, he takes them out in his hand. very proudly. He gives out like he's giving out business cards. Have you read my wife's book? Have you read my wife's book? Have you read my wife's book? I'm just thinking, look at God, as Les Brown would say, right? Look at God. So anyway, I want to share my screen and take us on a little journey of the path to I call it our next chapter. You can call it your next level. You can call it what's next. You can call it your greatness, but I call it our next chapter. And so let me share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is thank you. This is the journey of greatness, the journey to your next chapter. It's a 4-step process. I say 4 steps. It's at least 4 steps. There are actually lots of different little micro moves, but I've collapsed them into 4 major buckets. So there are many more than 4, but I've collapsed them into 4 major buckets. I'm just going to read the chat because I didn't realize there was. Oh, I'm leaving a legacy. Thank you. I didn't see that before, Sarifa. So in the middle of this is who you are. And this is the journey. We're starting today by talking about clarity. We can't go anywhere without knowing where we're going. We talked about this already. Clarity is the first step. What does clarity mean? Clarity means I would break clarity further into 3 further steps, actually. Clarity is, first of all, irritation. Irritation. That's when you begin to feel like something is missing in your life. And we all have different ways of describing it, but it's the same thing we're saying. That's when we feel there's more. We feel there's got to be more to my life than this. We feel we may rise up in our career, rise up in our profession, whatever that may be, and we get to a really nice position. And we look around us and think, is this it? Or we say, now what? But this is the irritation. Something deep within us is calling to us, is telling us that you're not quite there. That's irritation. Then the second is awareness. That's when you become aware of the irritation, because sometimes the irritation might sit on its own for a while, a month, 2 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. It's just there, bubbling away gently. You know, it's like a toothache. You have a toothache, but it's not quite painful enough for you to see a dentist. It's just there. And if you keep food away from that area, it can pretty much just mind its own business. You know it's there, but it's not bothering you enough. Then one day the toothache says, I don't care whether there's food in this area. I don't care how much you clean me. I'm going to get noisier and louder and let you know that I haven't come to play. That's awareness. And that can take, as I say, any length of time. Awareness. And even when we're in the awareness stage, we may still try to ignore it. I have bad news for you. It will not be ignored. It may be ignored for a little while, especially over like Christmas. We're busy, we're shopping, we're cooking, we're cleaning, we're entertaining, we're dining out, we're visiting friends. Oh, we can suppress it for a week or 2. Trust me. Trust me. It will be back. And when it comes back, it's coming back with a vengeance. And then the third and final is surrendered action. That's when we then say, enough. Okay, what is this thing? And we go in search. Like Sarifa was saying, we go in search of what this thing is. What is this thing calling me to? But also, what's it calling me from? And that's not always easy to identify. And it's like looking for a needle in a haystack. It's not easy to identify, but also it's ongoing. It's ongoing. We might find a needle and then we're told, oh, there are others. They're bigger ones, they're smaller ones, and we need to go back and find more and more and more. I can tell you this, ladies, because in my journey, even now, I am still getting further clarity. Over the Christmas holidays, I still got further clarity. It never ends. But if I hadn't started in 2020, Lord knows where I'd be now, which is why I said at the start, clarity becomes clearer, or it becomes clearer as we step into action. We need to take the first step before we then see the second step. So that's clarity. And then as we take the steps, we get to the point where we started to touch on this before. The narrative, I love that word that Sarifa used, the narrative, which is all up in here. All up in here. No matter how much clarity we have, we are never going to rise above the narrative that we tell ourselves, especially for us women. So we need to do a lot of work in the area of courage. And by courage, I mean self-belief. I mean not getting rid, you can never get rid of them. I mean learning to manage the different sentiments and stories that we tell ourselves from our past, from whatever we've gone through, from our experiences, from our circumstances. And this includes fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of criticism, fear of rejection, self-doubt, fear of the unknown, all that stuff that goes on up in here. I often say that we hold a whole committee meeting all up in here. And not only do we hold the meeting, we give the meeting space, we chair the meeting, we actually host the meeting, we invite ourselves to the meeting, we write the meeting minutes, we distribute the minutes, all up in here telling ourselves every reason why we can't do it. I hate to say this, but sometimes the more successful we are is the more noise up in here. Because if you have nothing to lose, it's easier to step into your next. But what have you got to lose? When you have a home, a mortgage, a nice car, you're already living a good life. You are coasting. How can you then explain it, not just to other people, but to yourself, that you're going to give that up for the unknown? People will look at you and say to you, are you mad? But before people tell you that, guess what? You will look at yourself and say, I must be mad. And that is the single biggest reason that we stay stuck, that we stay in our comfort zone. Is the stories that we tell ourselves. Who do I think I am? I'm lucky enough to be where I am already. How can I possibly want to rock the boat? I tried before and I failed. I'm only good at this. How dare I think I can do this? My parents told me, my teachers told me, I'm too old. I mean, the list goes on and on. And until we take control of this, we're staying right where we are. And this work around courage, just like clarity, is ongoing. It's never once and done. Because every time you step to a new level, you need to reset your mind for that level. You step to level 1, who you need to be to get to level 2 is not who you are at level 1. So you need to do more work on yourself. You need to jack yourself up here to get to level 2. You get to level 2, level 3 is a totally different ball game. Again, you need to come back and jack yourself up here again. Every time you'll need to step to the next level, we need to go back and do the inner work, because we can never rise above the story that we tell ourselves of who we are. And then we get to commitment. So let me round off on what we said so far. Each of these, it's not a 2-hour thing, it's not a 3-hour thing, and it's not even something we can prescribe, because who it is for Teresa is different. What it is for Teresa is different from what it is from Serifa. It's different from what it is from Ade, different from what it is from Funke. Vanessa will need something completely different. So again, it's not a one-size-fits-all. My fear may be fear of, I spent 30 years in the corporate world. Who do I think I am trying to become a speaker? Well, Teresa could say, well, in my job as an entrepreneur, I speak all the time. I haven't got a problem being a speaker. My problem is, how can I believe that in spite of my success with Needlepoint, there's even more? Especially when there are people who are looking at Teresa saying, oh my God, you mean you're the founder and CEO of Needlepoint? Oh my God, your life is so good. And then you compare yourself to people whose lives may not, or may, you don't know, because again, it's the narrative that you've given to the situation. You think, I'm so lucky to be here. Why do I want more? Let me address that really quickly. We all have greatness in us. We're all born with an abundance of gifts. We never, ever should get to a point where we feel, I'm done. It's enough. God forbid. No. No matter what we've done, there's always more. There's always more. There's always more. And if we feel that there's more, then guess what? There's absolutely more. And I think we owe it not just to ourselves, but to our maker, to constantly strive to be all of who we can be. Because that's the only way we can get to the end of our lives and look back and not have regrets. That's the only way. Let's move on. Commitment. Commitment is all about our why. Why? Why is this thing important to you? Why is this important to you? And everybody's why is different. And everybody's why is valid. And everybody's why is personal and should not ever be justified. Ever. But here's another thing I'm going to stop sharing. Often when we talk about our why, it's usually based on external validation. It's based on other people. I'm going to stop for a second. I would love to hear, actually, I'm going to stop talking. I'd love to hear if anybody would love to share their why they want to get to this next level. No pressure. But if you'd love to share, I'd love to hear why, what's your why? What is keeping you? What is the reason that you know that where you are is not all there is. And you know there's more, even though you may not know what that thing is. What's that thing that's calling you and making you say, I need to do this? Would anyone like to share?
I'll share.
Thanks, Eddie.
My why is because looking back at my own life and seeing the things that I've been through in life from an early age. And when I look at my life, if I can help another woman, if I can help someone not to go through the same things that I've been through in life, then that is my why, to bring to transform somebody else. I don't know if that's the right word, but to change somebody's life. For example, as I've mentioned before, I'm interested in young people, and when I look at my life and I look at some of the things that have happened to me, and I look at a young person, I really kind of like wish that I could go to that person and say, no, don't treat your life like this, because this is what I've been through. I've seen it. It's my experience.
Yeah. Thank you.
I hope I'm making sense.
You're making total sense. You're making total sense. Thank you. You want to use your experience to help another woman.
Yeah. Yes.
So she doesn't suffer and go through some of the pains that you went through.
Yeah.
Total sense. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Would anyone else like to share?
Yeah, just like Ade just said, yeah, for me too, it's just like my why is more like helping others.
Yeah.
Because as a survivor, even though it was very traumatic, but the point is, I just believe that, I'm not being healed just to sit and do 9 to 5 or something. There's some people that I can actually reach out to out there. You understand? There's some people that need to hear what you've got to say. From your experiences can always be different, but you can at least help them, rekindle hope in them. Some they've lost hope in some things. And there's some people that you just cancel effortlessly. I just do it. People just come, or people speak to so, and I just do it. So at the end of the day, I'm just like, I think there's still more to me that I'm not actually bringing out.
Yeah.
So that's why I know that I just have to keep pushing and pushing, because I just believe there's more in you that you can do. There's still this far place. You're not even scratching the surface at all. There's more greatness out there. So that's why I just believe that, what, that's a big why. It's just like when I was ill. It's just like I knew that I had to be well. But my why was the driving force for me. And no matter how I'm feeling, you understand? I think about my children, think about my family, and I just know that, what, I've got to get through this. Yeah. So that's, now and I look at that why. When I look out there, I see some people, you understand, young people, and it's just like, even, young women, like 35, I've spoken to like 35, 34 going through it. And it's just like, you look at them and you can, I can sit down with them and share my own experience and, meet them at the point, and they could like, oh, okay. No, they could always pick one thing or the other out. Yeah. And that gives me this satisfaction that even though like how many years I was like into this promotion that I wanted, and listening to you, I can now think that, what, if I've gotten that promotion, I don't think I'll really be happy. I think, you just want to have the promotion, maybe to get the money or whatever. But there's some things that you do that gives you more joy. Yeah. That when when you sit back, you'll be like, oh, thank you, God. It's more than any thousands or whatever. But when you can smile and just thank God that, oh, you know, I put a smile on this face, it goes a very, very long way.
Yeah.
And that's me. And again, I'm going to excuse myself soon because I've got a meeting with my coach.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. Thank you for giving us advance warning, and thank you for joining us for the time that you could. So yeah, that's amazing. Thank you. When you are ready to slide out, we'll forgive you. But thank you.
Is it? Sorry, please. Is this recorded? Or is this recorded?
It is recorded.
Is it possible to continue to have to be able to receive?
I'll share the recording.
Please do. Yeah.
I'll share the recording. You're very welcome.
Thank you. Nice meeting everyone. Bye.
Thanks for sharing as well. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So thanks, Ade, for that. The reason why we're here to talk about clarity, but clarity in isolation, I don't think is particularly helpful. It's great to see the whole illustration, I think, so you can see how things fit together and where we're going, the journey, if you like. So that was commitment. So let me just say one more thing about commitment. In a typical class, if this were a typical class, what we would do is actually spend the entire time just talking about our why. Why? Because your why is what keeps you going. Your why is the thing that will make you wake up on a day when you feel beaten and make you carry on. Because there are many days where we will wake up and we'll be like, I can't do this today. Because life will try to knock us down. It's our why that keeps us going. So how do we get to the core of our why? What we do is what we would have done in a typical class, and I'm going to share this with you so you can try it by yourselves, is ask yourself why 7 times. 7 times. Why? So when you said your why, Ade, I would have said to you, why? And you respond, and I'd listen, I'd hold space, and then I'll say, why? 7. And I dare anybody to go through that exercise and not be in tears at the end of it. I dare you, honestly. And that is where you're trying to get to. The day I did it, I was told I was going to be in tears, and I was like, because I'm answering a couple of whys. I think by the 5th time I was gone, because it really opens up. You will hear yourself say things that you had never even thought of before. And you'll be like, I don't know where that came from. Because my first why was all about, I want my kids to be proud of me, and I want my husband to be proud of me. And it was like, that's just a bunch of nonsense. That can't be your why. So if you're like, that's a bunch of nonsense. And it's not until you literally, the reason we go 7 times is that the first few times is your head answering. Your head is answering. The more you say it, the more you're asked it, the more your head gets bored. Your head gets bored. And guess what happens? Then your heart starts to respond. And that is what you want to happen. So I share that with you. I invite you. You can take that offline and practice that with somebody, but you want to get to the core of your why. Because on a Monday morning, a Friday night, when you are on a call, like I often am, at 2 a.m. in the morning with the US, and they're still awake and they're lively, and I'm like, why am I here? That's what I fall back onto. Yeah, I'm not going to say any more about that. So then the last one was conviction. Conviction is all about action, consistency. That's about actually taking action. creating a plan, creating goals, all the stuff that people were talking about a week ago. It's the new year, create goals, create your resolution, create your plan for the year. All that comes after conviction. Why does it come after conviction? You first of all need to know why you're creating those goals. People often talk about goals in isolation. You cannot have a goal without knowing where it's taking you to, right? Why do you have that goal? And that's actually another reason why we often fail at New Year resolutions, because there's no real commitment, there's no real clarity, and there's certainly a whole lot of negative thinking. So we need to sort all that out first. Where am I going? Who do I need to be to get there? Why am I going there? That's what will be needed, so that when I wake you up on a Sunday morning to say you need to go to the gym, you don't throw water on my face. It's all that. So please don't go off setting goals in isolation. Please don't do that. Because guess what happens when you do that? You fail, or you don't honor your word to yourself. And then what do you say to yourself? I never honor my word to myself. I knew I wasn't going to follow through on this. I knew I was too lazy to do this. You're not any of those things. You just didn't have a strong enough why or enough clarity to know where you were going. There's nothing wrong with you. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you. You're not lazy, you're not fat, you're not thin, you're not stupid, you're nothing. You are nothing but perfection. But we allow life sometimes, or people, or situations, circumstances, to tell us otherwise. So now, I want us to do a really quick exercise on clarity, because that's actually why we're here. But as I said, we needed to set the entire scene so you can see where you're going. I hope you've all got your pens. I think I can see everybody right. So I think I've seen everybody right today, yes. So everyone's got pen and paper. I would like us now to, without judgment, without thinking about how, I'm going to ask you some questions, and I'm going to play some music. I'd like you to just get in the zone. Don't judge it. Don't overthink it. Don't qualify it. Don't criticize it. Don't criticize you. Just allow it. Allow it. It's the 31st of December 2023. The 31st of December 2023. And you have had the most successful year of your life. Let me quickly qualify that. Successful is what you define as success. It's not mine. It's nobody else's. Success to you. Only you know what that is. You wake up in the morning and you have a smile on your face. Because you remember that you and I are meeting for lunch in your favorite restaurant. Just me and you. Just me and you. And you're writing all the things that you're going to share with me that happened following this meeting. And you're saying, I'm going to tell Ene about how I did this and how I thought this, and this is what happened to me. You're literally writing the story that you're going to share with me about your life since the 5th of January 2023, and how great a year you've had. Please don't judge it. Please don't judge it. What are you going to tell me? Let me give you a couple more prompts. Who else is going to be in this story that you're about to share with me? Where's the story set? So who is in the story about to share with me? Where's the story set? What did you see in this story? What did you experience? And most importantly, how did you feel? How excited are you about coming to share this thing with me? And then you don't believe what has happened. You don't believe what happened in July and August and May and September. You have no idea. I can't wait to meet you for lunch because I have so much to tell you. What are you going to be telling me? Remember, you have a smile on your face. You are truly, truly excited because so much has happened.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Will it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you? Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. So take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you, for I can't help falling in love with you.
Do you want another couple of minutes or 2 more minutes?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay. I'll play one more song.
Tihei mauri ora, tuia irunga, tuia ira, tuia iroto, tuia waho, tuya te here mata. Aro te o, aro te a. Ye, ai.
Sorry, I know that was very rude, but I'm conscious of time. But I hope that was helpful. There's some words I wanted to share, and I've just realized I didn't share them. I wanted you to think about, I think I did say success. I wanted you to think around other words such as impact, such as influence, such as contribution. So I hope you did, even though I forgot to mention them. Would anyone like to share? Would anyone like to share? Sarifa.
I can go for it. But I'm just going to tell you now that we're in Cape Town. So you've managed to make your way to South Africa. And yeah, we're wearing white. And you have like a blue top on, but I've got full white. And I'm so excited. And I run up to you actually before you even come into the restaurant. And I am telling you about having just looked at property in Cape Town and excited about things that are unfolding because I had an amazing year with the coaching that just exploded and impacted so many women. It was exciting because for me, the business is not just a business, but it's a movement.
Yes.
And so we've managed to touch hundreds of women who are now part of this movement of shifting the narrative of African women in the diaspora. And basically, from just getting so many clients, we've managed to reach so many women and collaborated with sisters in the diaspora on different projects, reaching more women that we've actually planned on. So the impact was immense. We've influenced the dynamic around the way people speak about diversity, equity, and inclusion. Actually shifted the whole concept, turned it on its head, and introduced sort of the Ubuntu mentality into the West and bringing in African indigenous knowledge system and giving it space. Yeah, there's so much. I've written a whole bunch of stuff, and because of the work that we've done, and I've been able to take my in-laws here based in Norway to South Africa to visit my family for the first time and taking them on safari and a whole bunch of other stuff. But that's because the business has done so well. Yeah.
Well done. Well done. I love that. I'm going to share something at the end, but I just want to say I love that, and let's move on. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Don't be shy. Teresa, do you want to share?
Why did you call me? Oh, dear Lord. Okay, I didn't quite go that route.
Okay.
I went through I'll call you back. I went through 5 key, what do I call them? Core areas.
Okay.
Personal,
Mhm.
spiritual,
Mhm.
physical,
Mhm.
business, and family.
Mhm.
Oh, by the way, we're in Florence.
Oh!
Yeah. Personal level, I will be telling you I've done some courses, personal development courses on my craft, which I've forever been planning to do and kept postponing because I was just too busy to do. So I've done those personal growth courses in managing stress levels and being a better boss. On a spiritual level, I'm a teacher, so I've been too busy to teach in my fellowship. So I'll be telling you that I've done a lot more teaching, done more evangelical work, and then growth in my relationship with God. I've deepened on a new level. Then physically, lost 10 kgs I have put on in 2022.
Wow.
Because I have rings around my neck now. But I'm still beautiful.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that.
I'll be so lean and strong. I'll probably be wearing a backless jumpsuit that my muscles and my back are just like ripped and my arms are like, yeah, I'm looking so good. Being me. I'll be eating really clean and not cheating. I mean, I'll tell you, I haven't cheated. I love desserts, and I'm like, I actually have moved on from there. Business-wise, at 31st of December, my taxes done, all my books are in order and up to date. New international stockists, better structure. And then family-wise, of course, the children will be doing well. My daughter more settled, worry less, better, more sure of themselves. The boys doing well, spouse direction. Yeah. Influence, impact, and contribution. I think I'm a bit selfish. I didn't actually think about those, but I think they can find their way somewhere in there, in the spiritual. Physically, I mean, I'll be impacting because I look so gorgeous. Everybody wants to know what I did. Contribution, yes. Yeah. Speak more, have more, share more of my knowledge. I'm not like you, I'm not very fancy. I heard you say you should be fancy, but that's not just who I am. But share from my wealth of my little knowledge of the industry and try to inspire more people. So that will go under personal, I think. So that's it for me.
Thank you. You shared something at the start. You said you went a different route. Let me just say, everyone's route is fine. Absolutely fine. Do you? But you also shared, I said you should be fancy. I don't remember saying that. Did I say that?
So I mean, when you started, you said, that it was said that you were not the typical, that you needed to look a particular way.
Yeah.
Okay, in the beginning. So that's why I'm saying, like you, I'm not the typical, I'm just so
I
laid
got
back
it.
in my Converse.
I got it.
I really don't give a hoot.
I got it. Yeah,
That's
like
what I
me.
meant.
Thank you. Thank you. I got it. I got it. Yeah. Thank you so much for that, Teresa. Yeah, I love the fact that you have touched on the different areas of your life, because that's obviously what's important to you. And Serifa shared about what's important to her. And that's actually why we're here, right? Because everyone's success is different. And sometimes sometimes we think that that's ours because it's different. There's something wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with anybody's. Yours is yours. Do you? Honestly, do you? Thank you so much. Thank you. Vanessa, I haven't heard your voice today, my love. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Okay. Okay, let me share mine.
Please.
Okay, I just highlighted some things. Okay, I would share that I had already gotten the clarity that I was seeking out for in terms of my passion. And I will also share that I have invested more in my personal development and, broken the work pattern that I created since I relocated. And I would also share that I've invested more time in the family setting. And I'll also share that the book I said I was going to start writing, I had started writing. Yes, this is it.
Thank you. Thank you. I think that's great. You have so much to you have so much to develop and to do in the next 12 months. And you have nothing to apologize for, and you have nothing to laugh about, because this is really important stuff for you. So I want to encourage you to keep at it. And this is actually for everybody. I'm going to ask, because I don't want to forget at the end. This is just the first draft. This is the very, very beginning. Very beginning. I'm going to encourage you as the days and weeks draw on, to give this story more color, more texture, more feelings. So as well as what you'll be sharing, I'd like you to add to it how you'll be feeling. So how will you feel about sharing this stuff? What will you be experiencing? Share about the excitement. Share about maybe the joy in your heart. Share about maybe you may even be crying because you're so emotional, because maybe you didn't realize that you'd be able to do all this stuff. So I want you to not just share the how, or rather not just share the what, but share the how. Not just what you'll be sharing, but how. The excitement, the feelings. Give the feelings some texture, some words. Why? Because that's then when it starts to become more real, because our minds will start to embrace it all, and our subconscious mind doesn't know real from imaginary. So give it real texture and flavor, right? As you think it and as you dream it, just allow it to just consume you and take you into some kind of zone where you're in wonderland. And please don't say, I'm too old for this. No. We're not too old to daydream. Nobody's too old to daydream. Ade, by the way, Ade, you and Vanessa are going to meet in person on the 28th. Just thought I'd share, please. Ade.
Okay, I'll just tell you what I wrote. I just wrote, I start off by saying, oh, Ede, guess what? I've written and published my first book. Not only that, I've also written 2 curriculums and started my coaching business, Woman Thou Art Loose Kingdom Coaching. And I already have over 100 women. I've traveled to more than 8 countries. And that's all I've got so far. And we'll be meeting up in California.
Hey! I'm going to be all over the place on the 31st of December this year, in Florence, in Cape Town, in California. Vanessa didn't say where I'm going to be, but we'll be there. We'll be there. I love it. Vanessa, where am I going to be?
Probably London. But that's where you are, sure.
That's where I am. That's indeed where I am. Thank you. I love the way you embrace that, ladies. So we're going to close in the next 5 minutes or so, but I wanted to say you've just written the very first rudimentary. Ade has done this exercise before. So Ade, you are on version like 4 or 5 of this, don't lie. But we should all be so proud of ourselves. We've written the very first chapter of our next chapter, or the very first paragraph. What I'd love for you to do is to put your hand on your heart, honestly. Put your hand on your heart and say out loud, say thank you, and say your name, and then say I love you. So thank you, Ene. I love you, Ene. Thank you, your name, and then I love you and your name. Should we do it together? Thank you, Ene. And unmute yourselves. I want to hear your voices. I want to hear your voices, please, please. It's gonna be round and round, it's fine. Thank you, your name, and then I love you and your name. Okay? 1, 2, sorry. We're going to go on 3. 1, 2, thank you.
Thank you,
Titi. I love you, Titi. You're an amazing
I love you,
person.
Tarifa.
Oh my God.
We don't tell each other that we love ourselves enough. We need to say it more. Teresa, I feel that you have some actress tendencies in you. I feel some actress.
I can be very comical sometimes. My kids go like, oh, Mom, please, no.
It's all good. It's great. It's great. Thank you. I want to close that by saying this, though. I want to say, remember that everything that we are seeking is also seeking us. Yeah, everything we're seeking is also seeking us. It starts with a dream. So this is the first draft of clarity. We need to take this as a skeleton and give it more meat, give it more color, give it more texture, make it more real, and grow and grow and develop it. And that will then become our GPS, our destination. With that, I want to say thank you.
Sorry, Ene.
Right.
Can I share something very quickly?
I was just about to ask you to share anyway. So please, yeah.
No, just to add to what you said, I saw this quote somewhere today, and it said something along the lines that the next chapter is the prayer answered. And I thought, oh, wow.
I love that.
And coming to this just sort of, yeah, connects that.
I love that. The next chapter is the prayer answered. And sometimes we don't even have to pray out loud. Just writing it down like this is a prayer, because it's coming straight from our hearts. Thanyou so much. So
that means be careful what you pray for, because
be careful what Teresa, you just said it. You just said be careful what you dwell on. You're so right, because your thoughts are prayers. Our thoughts are prayers. We should be very careful what we dwell on. That is so. We can actually do another 2 hours on just that sentence. Anyway, Ladies, I want to thank you. I want to invite you, if you're in London, which I know you're not, Sarifa and Teresa, and the other two ladies are already coming, so I'm just going to ignore that bit of the conversation. I'm going to invite you, though, on a serious note. If you would like to speak further, I host these kind of things all the time. Let me know. You will be invited. So rather than you just wait until you see it on social media, I will actually invite you. I'm also going to be doing that whole course, the Clarity, Courage, Commitment, Conviction. I call it, for me, it's called Your Life is Calling. There's an actual 4-week program on that. If you want more information, it starts in February. Let me know. But let's just stay in touch, stay communicated, keep the lines of communication open. Let me know if you'd like to chat, anything. I'm here honestly to help. Yeah. Ade and Vanessa, I look forward to seeing you in a few weeks. Teresa, I'll probably be ordering something soon.
You will see me. I'm in London on the 24th.
Ah.
But I'm leaving on the 26th. Yeah. But I'm back in February.
Teresa, don't worry. One day I'm going to nab you. One day I'll nab you. Sarifa, God bless. Thank you so much.
Nice meeting you, ladies. Ade, Sarifa, Vanessa, nice meeting you.
Thank you, everybody. Take care.
Hope to talk again.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Much
Good
love.
night.
Bye-bye.
Good night. Thank you.